Hello, everyone. How you all doing this evening? This is Yusuf Chowdhury once again, tuning in live from San Antonio, Texas. It is 10 p.m. Central Time. Let me know if you all can hear me clearly because I did not hook up my headset. Just want to make sure that the sound is good without my headset. Just give me a minute here. Let me see if it's coming up. Sonia, what's going on? It's been a long time. How are you? Good to see ya. Awesome, thank you. Usually I use this like a very basic headset, but sometimes the sound becomes cracking. But now I'm not using the headset, straight from the laptop. Hopefully the sound is good. So Sonia said the sound is good. Excellent. So how you been? How was life? How is family? And how is business? Let me go ahead and share this on my page. I'm actually broadcasting this on Periscope, Facebook, and YouTube all at the same time. Still did not get access to the LinkedIn live streaming beta. So tonight's session basically is, do you have any question about digital marketing or online marketing? Please do let me know. Ask me and I shall answer. So that's what the subject is for tonight. So anybody, come on. I can see there are like a couple of folks right here. Go ahead, ask your questions. Anything about online marketing. So Sonia says, what platform do you use to triple stream? I'm using right now Ecom, which is mainly for Mac machines only. And what I like about it, it's an application. It's not a web based, so it's a software you have to download. And it comes with this awesome screen in a box for chat, so I can see chat on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope all at the same time. That way I can communicate with all of you. Plus, I can also have like an intro, rule of third, guest, split screen, a lot of cool stuff. I can also share the screen, Greg Guzman. Sheikh, what? Yasif? I think I gotta work on that. Hey, by the way, don't forget the class tomorrow, okay? Mr. Greg Il Guzman. So, and the thing with the Ecom though, Sonia, it cannot multicast. So you can only broadcast on specific or per application, like per channel, like Facebook by itself. You cannot do it multiple channels, but Ecom does come with an option to broadcast through Restream or Switchboard. So I'm also using Restream, and I'm testing it. I'm supposed to test Yardstream, which I haven't done yet. Okay, I'm gonna test Yardstream, Caster, and Switchboard. I'm just gonna keep playing with all these multi-streaming, so I can have a better idea on each one of them. In case if a client asks me which one they're gonna go with, based on their needs and demands or what the clients and customer need, I can recommend them which option they can go with. So right now I'm just kind of hitting two stones with one camel. Did I say camel? To see, just kind of give it a try until I decide which one I'm going to stick with. But so far, I like the click of the application is so fast and the quality is so good. Even if I check the quality on Periscope and Facebook and YouTube, the quality is still very good. Now, Restream, on the other hand, it's a web-based. I love their technical support, 24/7. I can go live and chat with them at the same time. The dashboard is super easy, but I noticed that sometimes there is an issue with the lag because it's a web-based. So it's possibly because the internet and whatnot, it caused more crossover through servers and whatnot. Let's say someone I know is trying out StreamYard. Yes, I've seen a couple of my colleagues actually using StreamYard. It's similar to Restream.io. Same thing with Caster. My plan is, while I'm testing these, I do want to live stream or multicast on multiple channels, not just Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. But I don't want to. I do want to push the content to a lot of places. Kind of go against my own rule and just keep breaking stuff until I learn from these sort of things. You know what I mean? I don't recommend a lot of multi-streaming right now to my clients. I basically tell them to stick with one channel and just focus on that, master it, then maybe try another channel if your audience exists on those channels. But for me personally, I just like to break stuff and learn from there. You know what I mean? So yeah, StreamYard. That's another one I'm gonna possibly definitely is in the list of testing tools. I'm gonna definitely test it pretty soon, maybe hopefully next week or after. Then after that, I'm gonna test with a caster, then a switchboard. Then if there's any, I think a Be Live long time ago, I looked into it. It is okay, but yeah, so that's what I'm doing. So that was a good question, Sonia. Appreciate it. Any more questions, everybody? Any more questions about online marketing, about WordPress, your website, your social, anything that you're having a challenge with when it comes to marketing? Do let me know. Where are you stuck? From a business perspective, not like where you're stuck literally. Can't help you with that. So let's see. Yeah, all right. This is good. Let's see what kind of other questions out there. Okay, here's another question. How can I measure conversion through Facebook, or how can I measure conversion through Facebook marketing? Well, that's a very good question. Now, before we get into Facebook itself, I would say when it comes to measurement, I believe the most important thing, and this is across the board, whether it's in search or social itself, I think for businesses, our super focusedness, if that's the word, should be focused on the conversion of the ideal audience or the ideal customers. Specifically in general, when it comes to social media, the stuff that I see most of the time with most of the businesses is that they focus on numbers in terms of followers and likes and whatnot. But if those followers and likes doesn't convert, it doesn't turn them into a paying customer, then it's kind of useless. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Greg Guzman, how can we make sure prospective brands and companies can see our posts so they can reach out to us about sponsorship, or should we reach out to them? That is an excellent question, because those big companies are so busy. They probably spend millions of dollars in the marketing. I don't think the only time they can approach you when you become an influencer or when you have tons of outreach, and how does that happen? Sometimes number doesn't help, because last year actually, so-called influencers that had a lot of followers or millions of followers, they actually didn't do any benefit to these companies, and these companies start to learn that having numbers is not enough. It's all about the conversion of those numbers. So you can definitely reach out, Greg L. Guzman, but when you do reach out, you have to tell them, for example, let's say if you have a blog, how many traffic do you get on a monthly basis? What kind of quality traffic that you're getting, and how many leads you're capturing, right? You have to show them some numbers in order for those companies to basically pay for sponsorship, right? There's no point for somebody to, let's say you're gonna start a travel blog and you're gonna charge anywhere between $250 to $1,000 of sponsorship per month. If those businesses look at you and your audience don't bring any conversion to their business, they're not going to invest, or they're not going to sponsor you. Does that make sense? Let's see. Sonia said, I think you should explain what digital marketing people don't know or understand it. Yes, excellent question. So, Greg Guzman, let me know if I answered your question. And for the Facebook question, Sonia, I'll get back to your question for sure. That was an excellent question. Let me go back and explain about the Facebook in general. So when it comes to the Facebook conversion, and of course other social media channels, that you have to focus on getting the ideal customer, not just find you, but basically trust you and in a way have them to be converted into a paying customer. So you shouldn't just focus on the numbers, because sometimes too many numbers doesn't mean too many sales. If you have low numbers, but they are high quality numbers, there's a chance that you can actually convert them into a customer. Make sense? Okay. Now, so Sonny's asking, I think you should explain what digital marketing is. People don't know or understand it. That is a beautiful question. So digital marketing, online marketing is all the same. When we say digital marketing, what basically means we utilize marketing through the digital medium. So what is the digital medium? Websites, social media platforms, search engine optimization, the organic SEO, Google Ads or Google advertising, Bing advertising, social media advertising, content marketing, email marketing, affiliate marketing. What else? E-commerce, right? All of these falls under digital, because you have an internet-based softwares and you have mobile-based devices. So mobile apps can also be considered digital. Does that make sense? And the difference between the digital and traditional, in traditional, we're talking about billboards, radio, TV, direct mail, guerrilla marketing, breakdowns on the street, right? So that's traditional. Now, if you break down the digital marketing or online marketing, which is exactly the same, sometime you will hear another word called inbound marketing or outbound marketing. So basically inbound, which is part of digital marketing, all it means, inbound means that the customer is finding you and interacting with you. So there's a two-way communication. Outbound means you just throwing out or throwing up, just like traditional. So outbound can be sometime relevant to the idea or the concept of traditional marketing. And inbound marketing also means digital or online marketing. Make sense? So you're going to hear these sort of terminologies on and off, and it might cause some confusion, but the difference is there's traditional and there's digital, everything with the internet, mobile devices, two-way communication, and traditional or outbound, it's basically traditional. Make sense? Makes sense! Sonia, tell me if it makes sense. All right. So I hope I was able to answer your question. Greg Guzman, basically a portfolio of quality leads, conversion, and other important statistics to said company. What statistic would be important for a blog if I'm not specifically selling a product? Excellent question. Greg Guzman. The thing is, let's take an example. If you start a travel blogger, so the sponsorship companies you're looking for could be the travel agencies, airline companies, hotels, restaurants, books, travel products, backpack, survival guide, affiliate marketing. Do you see what I'm saying? So these are some of the product. So let's say if I'm building a backpack that is anti-theft backpack, which is already out there, and you have, let's hypothetically say within a year, you collected 2,000 subscribers and almost 70% of them read your content. And let's say you get anywhere between 300 to 500 hits a day on the website. And a lot of these audiences love traveling, right? So that means the company that is going to sponsor you, their audience are travelers. Like for the hotel, they need travelers to book a hotel. Airline, same thing. Does that make sense? So you can approach some of these companies, right? Or you can first start with an affiliate marketing, because most of these companies have an affiliate marketing service where you can basically sign up for free and promote those companies. And whenever your reader is going to buy the service through those content, you're going to get paid commission. That's number one. Number two, you can ask them, for example, let's say if I bring you this many visitor to your restaurant and there's a coupon code, you're going to give me this much. Or if there's a new service for travelers that you can ask them for $500 per post, because there's a possibility you're going to get this many clicks or this many conversion, then that's how they're going to invest, right? If I see a huge value in your blog that a lot of your visitors are actually also my audience, then I'm going to invest, let's say 1,000 in order to make or generate, let's say, $5,000 or $10,000, then I'm going to invest in you in terms of a sponsorship. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense. Okay. So that was an excellent question from Greg Il Guzman. And Sonia, let me know if I was able to answer your question. If it wasn't clear, I will ask again. Greg, how can I start running ads on my website? As well, what's a healthy medium for number of ads? That is a beautiful question. Initially, it might be a little bit challenging because when you run an ad, what are you running the ad for, right? Because if you look at Google and Bing, the behavior of the audience there is different because people go to the search engine to look for an answer. And they're a little bit pricey. But if you run an ad on Facebook, for example, like a basic ad to basically boost one of your blog posts so you can get more eyeballs to your blog and capture those readers to your list, you can try that. So my recommendation would be, again, if you have a lot of money, of course you can try all of them based on the research first to see if the audience exists before you run the ad. Or you can just stick with the Facebook and see if you can get enough audience from there because the ad is a little bit affordable when you run on Facebook. Safwan Abu Hudayfa, wa alaykum assalam wa rahmatullah akhi, how are you? Greg, so we can make sure, so we make sure my following is the same people that would buy the product. Yeah, because the audience, think about it. Let's say, think about this. And this is very, very important because I've seen some bloggers that trying to set up a sponsorship package. They themselves don't know who is their audience, and they themselves don't know who they're gonna ask to be the sponsors. So if you have a podcast, for example, let's say you have a podcast that talks about all the latest and greatest of PlayStation games and Xbox games, right? So your sponsor are going to be folks that sell parts for Xbox and PlayStation or games in a discount or some sort of like a Dave & Buster's place that can have games. Does that make sense? So the sponsor has to be relevant to your audience because they're going to buy from the sponsor. So if somebody sells in the same niche of PlayStation and Xbox, if somebody sells like, I don't know, Lollipop, there's no relevancy to your audience, right? Who would, I mean, I'm not saying, but if you think about it, who's going to keep buying a bunch of lollipops for PlayStation games? Does that make sense? So the audience has to be relevant. Makes sense? If you're in the real estate business, that means your audience, your sponsor is going to be people in the real estate niche, which include home inspection, the mortgage companies, title companies, right? All these, even construction, because they can, flip houses, right? So the people who are going to sponsor you have some sort of relevancy with your audience so they can convert those traffic from your website to become their customer. That's how they're paying you the money. So I'm investing $500 in a hope to make $2,000 or $1,000 or $3,000 or $4,000. Then they're going to sponsor you. Makes sense? Because they also want to get that benefit. You are getting the benefit of making the money. They're getting the benefit of getting the customer from your followers. Make sense? Okay, let's see. What was the question? Okay. No, I mean, how can I run ads on my website to generate money? You talk about AdSense? AdSense, I don't have too much experience with it, just to be honest with you. But from what I know from talking to other colleagues, AdSense is like it's like the easiest way to make less money. Okay, that's AdSense. I wouldn't place ad right away on your website because, especially nowadays, everything is mobile. So if you put an ad on the sidebar of your desktop or the laptop, those sidebars, those pop-up or those banners don't show up on the mobile devices. So you got to think how you're going to put those content within the content. What I mean by that, how can you put those banner ads within the content? And that's one idea. If you're talking about, let's say, Priceline, you went to this country, use Priceline, blah, 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 and there's a banner in the middle of Priceline that people can click from the mobile device and convert from there. So that's one way. Safwan Abu Hudayfa, let's see. I wanted to ask the same question. What is a good alternative for AdSense to monetize my website? Zacho, thank you for tuning in. So to monetize that, there are many ways beside the AdSense. There's affiliate marketing. So if you are, let's say, a photographer and you do tons of reviews on cameras, lenses, all these camera equipments, and you have good loyal followers, you can sign up as an affiliate to these camera companies like Sony, Canon, Nikon, or Amazon or Best Buy. So when people read those material, your blogging material, and they click on those links and they purchase, you get paid commissions. That's one way to monetize. AdSense you can try because there's still AdSense exists. Number three, if you do training, if you sell, let's say you have an experience in these equipment and you sell maybe a beginner's guide on how to use Canon camera, for example, and you sell those for like $5-10 as an ebook. You can also do one-time training video or a membership program where people can pay you like $5-10 a month to get access to all this photography training from you, right? So these are some of the ideas on how you can monetize. Okay. All right. Great questions, everyone, tonight. These are great questions. Any more questions, please? It is 10:21 p.m. Central Time. Let me know if I was able to answer your question. If not, I shall elaborate. Okay, any more questions? I'm just trying to multitask here. These were a great questions. I really appreciate everybody. If you have any more questions, let me know. Hey, Belady, what's going on? Thank you for liking the video. And by the way, folks, if you all enjoyed learning from this live streaming, do me a favor. Click, share, invite your awesome colleague, or tag them. Johnny B. Why do Democrats use digital media marketing to undermine the Constitution they hate? I have no clue. But you know what? Guess what? Everyone have access to run ad, whether they were Democrat, Republicans, Libertarian, or any kind of parties. If they do it, and I think everyone should get that opportunity and utilize the tool. And when you, hey, Jerry, what's going on? Thank you for tuning in. And when you utilize the tool, make sure you do it ethically, with honesty, and that's it. Greg L. Guzman, how can we connect with our followers on a more personal basis without overwhelming them ourselves? That's an excellent question. How can we connect with our followers on a more personal basis? What do you mean without overwhelming them? I mean, are you asking about how many times you're going to have to put the content out there? Because here's the thing. If you understand how the search engine works, then you would figure out how to attract those audience to you. Makes sense? When you write the material, people are searching for those content. And when they search for those content, they are willing to read and get more, because if your material is amazing, it answers all the questions that they're searching for, then they're going to keep coming back. Makes sense? So you have to make sure that your content are really well put, very easy to read, enjoy to learn from, easy to share, easy to engage, and it's so awesome that they're going to keep coming over and over. See, you don't have to convince them that much. You have to make sure that you put everything with honesty and authenticity and entice them. Then that's how they're going to keep coming in. And that's why you have that email lead capture. So if they're interested, of course they're going to subscribe so they can get those weekly blog. Make sense? Safwan Abu Hudayfa. So is it smart to put my blog in the first page of my website? That is a good question. It depends on your business, because if your website is a content-based website, which means just the blog from the front page, then that's what it is. But if your website is a business website or a retail store, then no. Because in the retail business or any other kind of business, maybe you have a website that is designed based on the concept of landing pages. What I mean by that, people, my target audience come to my website, they see a video, three benefits. I'm speaking to them, and there's a call to action, and I'm grabbing them through class, booking a session, and whatnot. That's the buyer's journey. That's how I want the website to be from the objective point of view, right? But if it's a blogging website, just like blogs, because people just want to come and read the blog, then it's going to be on the front page. Makes sense? So it depends on the type of business, on the type of the website as well. That's why not every website are equal. Some websites are just content based. Some websites are like an e-commerce. All they do is just sell products. So when they hit their homepage, all you see is just products. And some of them are landing page. Some of them are service based. Like the insurance business websites or the attorney websites, or you can see there's the differences. But the blog still has to be there for two reasons. First one, so you can consistently and continuously educate your target audience. And secondly, for the search engine. In order for the search engine to basically find your content and index the material and bring you and push more traffic, right? You have to write a lot of content. Makes sense? But not just any content for the sake of content. You have to write content that is so relevant, so important to your audience. And how would you do that? Use services like answerthepublic.com and find out what kind of popular questions your ideal audience are asking within your niche or your business. Then you can click on those questions. Those questions will be taken to Google's page, and you can see what kind of sites are showing up, what kind of content are showing up. Then you're gonna use that to re-implement it on your own content marketing strategy. Greg, I love your questions too. What's a good way to put an email subscription hook line? Like subscribe to my newsletter. Yeah, subscribe to my newsletter. It's like 90s, man. It's very old. I would use something different. When it comes to call to action, depends on what you're offering. Excuse me. Depends on what you're offering, right? If you are giving away, let's say you're focusing on budget traveling. So let's say 10 practical, simplified guide on how to budget for traveling. Get my copy of a step-by-step guide for a beginner, blah, blah, blah. And you can give them this, 5 pages of a white paper or a PDF document or a video. Explain to your audience, how can they start budgeting, for example. And that's very valuable to that audience who are interested in traveling under a shoestring or a budget. Make sense? Then you can say, I want this copy, or I want it, right? Or give me a copy, like that. Make it like personal, and make it as if they are, in the first person speak. Does that make sense? Basically, with my travel log, if I wanted to collect email for leads and things like basically mass emailing, what's a good way to put that? So most amount of people will subscribe. That is, put your email here to get content first. And you see, put your email here to get content first, and the best ways to travel. That can be too. That can be the headline. That can be, you have the header, you have the subheader, right? Then the cool image. Then I want this copy, or give me this copy. I'm interested. Something like in the first person, and you can also test it, right? Because there's no blueprint that says if you do this, it's going to work. So you got to keep testing it. See which one. Once you get the target traffic come to the website, make sure you have the Google Search Console configured and Google Analytics configured, which is both are free. You can also try a free version of Hotjar or Crazy Egg, because those tools will basically record the mouse movement of your website visitor. Then see what happened. But initially, especially for the travel, I would come with something very, very interesting that they're gonna grab that copy, right? So give them something of a high value, not something cheap, not something like ridiculous that they can find anywhere. Something that you experienced it, and it's like your so-called a bread and butter kind of thing, and give it away as if you are selling it, but you're not asking money for it. Something much valuable, but you are giving it away as a gift, valuable gift. And the call to action will be, yes, I want a copy of this. Make sense? Then see how that works. Jennifer, what's going on? Thank you for liking the video. I highly appreciate it. Thank you so much. So far, these been great question from Sonia, Greg, Johnny, Safwan. Thank you so much. It is 10:30 p.m. Central Time. Do you still have any more questions? And Greg, if I can show you some examples, let me see if I can show you some example of call to action. Let me show you some example. Okay, let me show you some example. One second, let me pull a couple of sites here. It's all about testing, buddy. وإياك Greg L. Guzman. Just give me a second. Let me pull a couple of sites and show you. Let me show you a quick example of what I mean. Great offer. Just to give an idea. It doesn't have to be that complicated. Just to kind of get you brainstorm. 1 second. Looks like our buddy's right here. 1 second. One second. I'll be right back. Okay. You didn't bring your laptop or anything? Nope. What? Okay. All right, Greg L. Guzman. Let me share some example. Let me. Tons of cool question tonight. What happened here? Oh, camera. Oh, share screen. Interesting. There's a new feature, blink. So Greg L. Guzman. So this is Zen Media. It's a company that specializes in social media. You can see right here the headline: the first business generation agency, right? And the subheader: we drive growth for B2B companies by building and strengthening relationship in the digital age. Then download B2B manifesto. So that's one. That's the founder right here, Shama Haidar. Okay, so that's one idea. Second one, my favorite, Pat Flynn from the Smart Passive Income. See, learn and master the skill you need to build your dream online business. Subheader and get started. Okay. Another one, advertisement. They have get started right here. But what I like about his blog, if you look at the blog page, right here, you see this? Greg, complete guide to Facebook targeting. Download our free Facebook guide with over 850 ad targeting options. It's a PDF file that shows all the settings and features within the Facebook ad system. So instead of you going to the Facebook ad and figuring out all the numbers, it's all right here, like the interest, the group, the demographic. It's all in this. It's like basically going to have to print it out and put it in front of your face or a wall or somewhere and by your computer, so you can just look at it and start running the ads. Such a amazing value, right? So that's what I mean by, and the call to action is like a download, and you saw get started, right? And so it depends on exactly what you're trying to offer. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense? All right, back to the camera. Michelle Hayward, I guess we entertain ourselves. Okay. Do you all come here often? Where? I mean, my buddies, yeah, they can come anytime. To add to that, what's the product I can use to mass send emails easily? Well, again, I mean, if you are getting into the travel, we still have to brainstorm, and maybe you can come back to my office and we can brainstorm and talk about something super valuable. You can also look at the top, let's say top 5, top 10 travel bloggers and see if they are offering any offer or any value. If they don't, then it can be a little bit different. Make sense? Like basically when they subscribe, they automatically get a small email. Yes, well, you have to use like MailChimp or MailerLite to program it. So first, when they get into the list, they're gonna get an automatic message saying that thank you, John, for subscribing. Please click confirm. When they click confirm, then you can set up everything on the back end of those email marketing system. So you can program it where they can get the copy of the PDF. Then every 5 days, maybe they will get some type of more value, or you can send them email twice a month. Like let's say you wrote for a blog post, you can send them every 2 weeks one reminder about the blog. Makes sense. So you have to keep testing and see what they like. Initially, you don't have enough subscribers. You have to be busy building those subscribers by having those awesome value spread out in specific places, and you have to be very patient because organic things takes time, right? So there you go. Shannon in the house. What's going on? Looks like you're actually. I think you're late. All right. Yeah. It's like 10:36. Yeah. Today I started around 10 o'clock. Was too busy. And tomorrow there's a possibility I might not be live streaming tomorrow. Tomorrow is what, the 14th, right? Tomorrow's the 14th, right? Friday. Yeah. So tomorrow's the 14th. So I don't live stream in the weekend, but I'll be back on the 19th. So I might come back, or when I come back on the 19th, I might go live on the 19th. Monday and Tuesday, I'm not sure. I might do it on the go if I can, if I'm available. If not, then I'll be definitely back on the 19th. Okay, it is 10:37 p.m. Central Time. Any more awesome questions, please? Because today, amazingly, a lot of good questions. That's great. That's very good. A lot of good questions tonight. What is this? Let me see. One second. Go to bed, Yusuf. Nah, not tonight. I go to bed the opposite, the other way. Right? I go to bed like what, during the day, right? That's when I go to bed. At night I have like master plan. That's what I do at night, master plan. Okay, so it's 10:38 p.m. I don't see any more questions. I'm gonna wait for one more minute and see if anybody asks. If not, I'll bounce. So did you figure out the travel thing? No. Are you gonna take for the suit? What do you call it? The
I can't.
Zipper.
I have to put it like. I have to wear all the clothes I need.
You can't fit in the backpack?
What?
All the clothes?
No, if I put it in the back,
yeah,
it's a weird charge. So I have to.
No, the backpack. Just put in the.
No,
except for the suit, you can just
7 kilogram.
For the suit, you can just carry it like this. How about just wear the suit?
Yeah, wear all the clothes I need.
Yeah, wear all the clothes that you need. Couple of shirts, couple of pants, and the suit. You look like. Then and take the backpack. So when you go to Omaha, then you go take everything out because all the cold there. I think that should be the plan, man. I mean, yeah, that's the workaround. Greg says salam to you. He said that's Idris. What's up, people? Up. How long are y'all there? I think he wants to come. Should I tell him to come right now?
Yeah, we can put him in the personal back.
That's why you the man. Bounce. Yeah, bounce. Right? No, seriously, man. That's a good idea. It'd be funny, though.
Yeah, I mean,
it's only for 5 days. Wear 5 shirts,
yeah,
2 pants, a suit. You're going to go to the airport like, Idris, what happened to you, man? You're getting weight in one day. When you go to
money, man.
Yeah, that's how bootstrap. Yeah. That's how bootstrap. Jerry Garcia. Sitawa, did you say my question on voice search? Your thoughts on that? Man, I was about to bounce, but Jerry here came to ask. I said away. Did you see my question? I actually didn't see a question, Jerry. Let me go back. Let me go up. Jerry. No, Jerry. I didn't see a question, Jerry. I didn't see it. I did not see it. Jerry, a question about voice search. Yeah, voice search is the big thing. Well, if you know, the voice search was here since when? Since 2012, right? 2012. This is when the voice search came into the scene. But now, because of the advance in technology, like what you call it, Google Home. Excuse me. Ooh, sorry about that. Google Home, Alexa, and other voice search devices like Google Assistants, I'm Alice, Cortana, Bixby, Siri, right? Siri as well, and Echo, Alexa, Echo, right? So because of all these devices, I would say, according to what Google's been saying, that almost more than 50% right now, the search is going to be done through voice, because 80% of the search done on mobile device, and now 50% of them will be voice based. That means they're going to talk to the device, talk to Google Home, and talk to what do you call it, Alexa. Of course, it's very, very, very important. So that means the game in the so-called search engine is going to be changed a little bit because of that. Now, why does Shannon? You should start comedy show featuring digital marketing jokes and tips. I actually had that plan a while back. I said that's a problem with me sometimes. I have so many plans I put on the shelf. The idea was to start a show called Pimp My Website. Might be a little bit controversial, but if I have like tons of extra cash on the side, I would have done that to small businesses, invest on them, and pimp their website. We also had an idea with another, I think Fabian. We're talking about podcasts with digital marketers. We're going to hang out, do a podcast with all the digital marketers and talking about all these, the do's and don'ts and the agreement, disagreement, and stuff like that. But that's an awesome idea. I mean, you are probably the fifth person who's saying this. Start a comedy digital marketing show. Yeah, good idea. Going back to Jerry, and my friend is too loud, is that why voice search matter, right? So, but if you go back, be scared, be very scared, especially my name is Yusuf. Why voice search is important? But if you go back to like 2012, the technology wasn't that advanced. But right now, over the years, the capability of looking for stuff and finding stuff through voice search is becoming very fast. It's also very convenient, and I would say it's more reliable than before. Okay, that's why. But how can you make your information or your website to show up on Google Home or Alexa or any of the voice devices or the voice search apps like Siri or Google Assistant, right? So first thing, you have to make sure the website is mobile friendly. You gotta make sure to use a long tail, like a 3 to 4 keyword based within the content or the title tag, the meta tags. You can also start creating a page for frequently asked question page that you can always constantly update questions and answers. You got to make sure the website is super fast, because the SEO on the mobile is not the same thing on the desktop, right? And you got to make sure that everything is on the back end is crawlable, okay? If you're a local business, then you can definitely utilize a local listing like in a Google My Business page and Yelp and Super Page and whatnot, because those are going to help. In fact, I think Yax, the company, somehow they work with Alexa right now. You also have to implement something called the schema.org, which is a bunch of script you have to add on the back end of the website, and just make sure you utilize the Google Search Console in order to make sure that your information hopefully gonna show up through the voice search. Okay, so that's my thought, and I think this technology is amazing, and I think we should really try to approach businesses from a mobile point of view, right? And also from the voice search point of view, right? You got to be ahead of the game. So if you know this stuff, try to implement it and make sure that your information going to show up in those channels. Even recently, I mean, even with the search right now, a lot of things happen. A lot of things change in Google right now. where Google's basically taking all the traffic from website. Did you know that, right? They're taking all the traffic. They're having their own snippet. They're having their own, people also ask, they're having their own shopping cart, that in a sense that some companies actually suing Google because they somehow took the traffic away from them. I recently read an article through Google Search, I'm sorry, Search Engine Journal, that almost 50% of traffic is going away. Like most websites don't get it, even though if their website shows up on the front page, this traffic is not going to their website. So we have to figure out and look at different avenues on how to, at the end of the day, have our customer find us. Make sense? That is the whole idea. Privacy, though, settings. Yeah, privacy. Yeah, privacy, unfortunately, right now, most of the people don't even care about privacy. It's kind of hilarious, right? Nobody's, there's no privacy anymore. So, but security, you have to really take that into consideration. You have to make sure that everything is secure, password is powerful, you know. Those are very important. But privacy, unfortunately, nobody. So, any more question, folks? Jerry, let me know if I was able to answer your question. عندك هناك غرفة الكونفرنس يا إدريس. إدريس في كونفرنس غرفة هناك، خش هناك. صوتك كأنك زعق في الجبل. All right, now I'm just telling my friend there's a conference room, he can chill. Smart people said that, said into your microphone. Okay, good point. All right, thank you, Jerry. Okay, thank you, Jerry. I'm glad that I was able to answer your question. So let me know if you have any more. Okay, like I said, I'm glad that you brought up the subject because voice search is very, very important, right? A lot of changes been happening on Google. The stuff that I used to teach, let's say 2-3 years ago, some of the stuff I can't teach anymore because it's not applicable, right? So I gotta go with the changes. Same thing with the social media right now. Even with Facebook, the content that you're trying to put out there has to be laser focused, personal, and not too many salesy content except when you run the ad. So all these changes been happening, even on the Google ad. A lot of new changes and technologies right now. My team are focusing on the American Disability Act on most of the website. We're gonna focus on that, making sure that all the new website that we build has to follow the compliancy of the ADA checklist. My team also getting trained on AI and the artificial intelligence, and also what do you call it? The artificial intelligence technology in terms of like softwares and chat bot and whatnot. So those are some of the changes that's been happening right now. Okay, so yeah, make sure that any new changes comes in, be the first one, because if it gets oversaturated, then it's gonna be too late for you to get into the market. One second, Greg Il Guzman. One second. Sorry about that. Thank you, Greg. Let's see. What was it? Sorry. Sorry, folks. I'm just responding here. Prospect sending me a message. Let us see. Okay, good. Let me see what is in there. Okay, okay. Okay. Good. That's good. That's good. Thank you. All right. Ah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That is beautiful. Very beautiful. Let's see. You see, multitasking. I'm doing live streaming, answering all your questions, answering my team's question, my client's question. Man. No more question, guys? Okay, I'm gonna not ignore you, but I'm just let's see. Okay, let's see. Yes. Okay, all right. Everyone went back to sleep. Suckers. Okay. All right, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. It is 10:52 p.m. Central Time. I highly appreciate it. So, if I'll have any more questions, leave it in the comment section. If there's any topic you want me to cover, I'll get back to you guys tomorrow. I won't be able to go live, but I'll be back next week. I'll do my best to be back on Monday and Tuesday. If not, then for sure Wednesday night. Okay. Don't forget, if you're watching this as a replay, tap replay on the comment section. And don't forget to share this, tag some of your cool friends, or invite. Okay? You'll have an awesome evening. Good night. And don't work too hard.